Hello everyone, hope you guys are doing well. In our previous video we have done this so far. We created a form where there was a text input field and a select size attribute field and a generate image button. So if we try the form first, I'm going to select the small size and click on the generate button. Then it will give us an error, which means the post method is not supported for root. That means we didn't specify the root yet. So in this video we are going to start developing our form. To start developing it, we have to go through some steps. First we have to create a controller which will control all the backend things, which will help us to generate the image, and then we have to specify the root. Okay, then let's go back to the code. And I have already opened my code section. Basically this was the image generator folder and this is our project. So first what you have to do is you have to run your project through a php artisan command, php artisan serve. Then you will get the interface here. Okay, then what we have to do is we have to create the controller. So I'm going to create a controller using command php artisan make controller, and the controller name will be image controller. This is the controller name. You can give a different name as well. Okay, successfully created. Then what we have to do is we have to go to our app section, then http controllers and image controller. This is our image controller. We will write down our codes here. Okay, that's right. Okay, now we have to specify our root. Before doing that, we have to go to our form first. You can see we don't have any action here, and the method we are using is post method. So we have to create the root for post. Then we have to give it a name. I'm going to give it a name image, the directory actually. Then what we have to do is we have to mention our controller here, which is image controller, but we will not get access to it. First we have to use the controller, or we have to initialize the controller here. So we have to make sure that it's working fine. Then app controllers, then okay, sorry, app http controllers, then image controller. Okay, now we will get access to this image controller class. Then we have to give a name of a function. I'm going to use generate, and finally to get access we will use a name, and that will be image.generate. Okay, perfect. Then what we have to do is we have to go to our form, set the action root, and the root will be image.generate, which we have mentioned in our root image.generate, this one actually. Okay, let me check the spelling first. Okay, it's okay, fine. So I have made some changes in the form. You can see there is no validate option here. Then I have added a arrow section. If the we will do a validation in our backend panel, so if the validation is not okay, then this will give us an error. You can see in the class we have added this part of code. You can also add this, and also added a name for the input text, which is desk, and this desk is using here is invalid, then end error, and this will be the error message. This is also added. Then we have added a size attribute. If that the old size is there, then it will show SM or MD, or that means it will show the selected. It works like a cookie actually. Then if there is an error, then this will show, and this is the error checking option is invalid. Okay, you can add this easily by following the video. Okay, now what we have to do is we have to go to our image controller. Yes. Okay, let me check if the form is working or not. We have to run the PHP addition command. Okay, load the page, and a blue sky with birds, small. Okay, we are getting the directory, but it's saying that the page is expired. So what we have to do now, we have to write down some codes in our image controller, which will be very easy, don't worry about it. So first we have to get access of the validation rule, because we are going to use this validation then rule. Sorry, my mistake. Rule. Okay, before starting this part, there is some requirements we have to follow. That is, you have to create an account in OpenAI you'll search OpenAI, then you have to go through this website and create an account. It's free, so you can create it easily. Then go to this documentation section. You will see there is an option in the left sidebar which is API reference. Then in this API reference you will see another option which is images, as we are working with images. So I will highly suggest you to go through this documentation. You can see the request body, which is a prompt section, which has a prompt section that will be our string, that means the text, then an number of integers or number of images we are looking for, then must be between 1 to 10. That means you can generate up to 10 images. Then there is a size option. You can see we are already using this, as this size is small sorry, my mistake, small size, then medium size, then the large one. Then there is a response format. We can use two different kinds of response format. First one is URL and the other one is B6 for JSON. So we will use the URL option. Okay, so one more thing is we have to search OpenAI PHP. You will see there are two different repositories here. I'm opening both of them. Okay, the first one is OpenAI PHP client, and let's just check this repository. You can see if we visit the get started section, it requires a PHP 8.1 plus version. That means if you have the PHP 8.1 plus version, then you will follow this git repository. And the other one says that it requires PHP 7.4 plus version. So let me check my PHP version. This is very important to check your PHP version, because otherwise it will not work. Just write down PHP version command in your terminal and it will show that the PHP version is 8.0.11. This is my PHP version. You can also check it via CMD PHP version. You can see the same PHP version here. So if you have the PHP version which is more than 8.1 plus, then follow this OpenAI PHP client. But as I don't have PHP 8.1 plus, so I'm closing this one. I'm using this repository, which is OpenAI GPT-3 API client in PHP. Okay, now let's follow the rules here. First we have to install the composer, require this git repository. Just copy the command and paste it here. Okay, it's working now. Okay, perfect. Then what we have to do is we have to set our API key. We need an API key actually. So how do we will get this? We have to go our OpenAI where we have logged in. Then you have to go to the personal section, then view API keys. You can create a new API here, so I'm going to create a new API and I will copy this one. Okay, just copy, and you have to go to your env file. Here you have to type OpenAI API key, then just paste the API key here and save it. Okay, now we have the API key. Then what we have to do is we have to follow this part. Okay, so I'm going to copy this one. We will not need this line because we are using a PHP framework. It says just remove this line if you use a PHP framework, so we will not this one, and we will copy this, use or header day OpenAI public OpenAI. Okay, now we need to start our coding here. We have to create a function first, public function, and the function name will be generate, the name we have used in the web.php file, which is our root file, so generate. And in this generate we will use request $request. Okay, now what we have to do is we have to validate our form. To validate our form, we need to use the validate Laravel function. Okay, validate. Okay, perfect. So what we will validate here, we will validate our description. How we will validate it? We will make it required, then it will be a string, then we can select a max length, which is 100,000, or you can give anything else, then the size attribute. Now we will use the rule here. We will mention our 3 different kinds of size, SM, then the other one is MD, and the last one is LG. Okay, our validation is complete now. Okay, you have to make sure these are in the 3rd bracket. Okay, now it is done. Now we will get the description. Description through $request and the name of the form. Now we will use a switch case to handle the size attributes. You can use if-else statement, but I'm using switch case because it's more easier actually. Request size, and the first case will be LG. Then we will give a size here. Size will be let's check the size for the larger image, that is 1024. Okay, I need a quotation here, then break. Case 2 will be medium, and the size will be sorry for the background noise, because I think there are so many background noise you are hearing. Default will be dollar size, which will be the last one, It is very simple, just copy and paste. Okay, perfect. You have to use semicolon here. Okay, then we have to get the OpenAI API key. Just visit the Git repository here, copy these two lines. I will explain this. The first, we are taking a variable which is called OpenAI key. Then what we are using a get environment function, which is calling through the environment file and getting this API key here. Okay, after getting the API key, we are creating a new object using that API key. Okay, I think it's understandable. Okay, now what we have to do is we have to create a complete variable which will have open AI image, and this will work like this. Okay, third bracket. I don't know why it's not suggesting semicolon automatically. Now we have to create a prompt, and the prompt will be our description, which we are getting it here. Then we will initialize the number of images we are looking for. We are using 2. Then the size, and the size will be size, and the last one is the URL. So you are going, it's not URL actually. The last one is the response format. Yeah, response format, and the response format will be the URL. Okay, perfect. Just save the code and let's just check the form if it is working or not. I'm going to use TD to show what it is giving to us. Okay, we have to run our Laravel project first, PHP artisan serve, then just check the form. Okay, it shows that the page expired. Okay, so what happened actually? Let me check. Image controller generate. Okay, let's create something image show. Still showing the image is expired. Let me check. Request rule, then the OpenAI function generate, request validate. Okay, let me return it. Return view. We will use the welcome. Let's check now. No, it's not working. Image controller is perfect. Oh yeah, finally I remember, we have to use a CSRF token here. Sorry, that is my bad. Actually, I forgot to told you that we need to use the CSRF token here. If you don't use that token, it will not generate the page. Let's just hope that it will work. Okay, image show, it is redirecting us. Now what we have to do is we have to print what we are having right now. Okay, okay, you can see we are getting to different URLs here. Let's just copy this URL and check the image. This is the full URL. Perfect. We had used the prompt as a blue sky with birds, so it's showing that the blue sky with birds, and this is a different text, sorry, different image. Then we can try another image here. A cat with a laptop, select size medium. Just copy the URL. I'm going to check just only one URL this time. You can see the size of the image is bigger now. Okay, it's working. And now what we have to do is we have to check what is the type of our complete variable. So to check that, we need to use get type. Okay, then we will reload the page. Okay, it is a string. So usually what we get when we use an API, usually API use JSON format to store all the data. So we have to decode the JSON first. Okay, it is highly recommended you to decode the JSON first, then use this URL as array. So you can do one more thing here. Just simply take a variable and then JSON decode the complete variable and it will be true. Perfect. Then we have to create two different image variable. Data, then 0 index and the URL. Just copy this one. You can use also loop here as well. Okay, now we are going to return this. Show image, compact, image 1, then image 2, and the last one will be the description, because we will need the description as well. Okay, so this is all for today in this video. In the next video I will show how you can show these images in the show image directory. That will be the last part, and I think that will take the 5 minutes to complete the project. I'll try to upload this video by today. Till then, goodbye. If you really want to support me, then please like, comment and subscribe the channel. Thank you.